It's time for the Reform Talk Show with your host, Ruben GK. Stay tuned. Welcome to another yet exciting program on the Reform Talk Show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Ruben GK. And on today's talk show, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hosting one of the beautiful ladies that we have in our country, Zambia. And not just to add, we're talking about the ladies talk. Alright, so I'll be hosting the ladies tonight, and they're very hyper, trust me. So ladies and gentlemen, for more information, you can catch us, remember, on our Facebook page as well as on GK TV, that's on YouTube. So for more information, ladies and gentlemen, remember to like, share, and comment. Alright? So before we can move and try to do something else, ladies and gentlemen, please, you can catch us after the break.
Everyone, my name is Memory Panda. I'm a psychosocial counselor, and you are watching the Reform Talk Show with GK. So on this show, you get to experience a lot of issues based on counseling and issues that are affecting the youth out there. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Thank you. Come on, leave me. 'Cause we was arguing ever since we stopped touching. We're not in touch. I know money can't buy your love. I guess I didn't try hard enough. But we could work this like a 9 to 5.
Alright, welcome back viewers. This is your host Ruben GK, and this is Reform Talk Show. And today I'm hosting the ladies. Oh wow, you can't wait. Trust me, I'm having a great now. Alright, so straightforward. I'm having nice ladies in our house today, and alright, so we have the lady by the name of Mwansa Michelle. Mwansa Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also having one of the ladies, and by the name of
Pris Scarlett herself.
Pris what?
Pris Scarlett herself, yes.
Pris Scarlett herself. You know some names. Yeah, and we're having as well as in the house. Again, just for name. Alright, she's Helen, ladies and gentlemen, she's Helen Tommy. So ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of your time, we're talking about the responsibilities of a lady this time in a relationship. So we don't really know much about your responsibility in in a relationship. So I can't talk much about ladies, but we just want to find more of what kind of responsibilities do you guys hold, or the role do you guys play in a relationship. So I don't want to take much of your time. So if you don't mind, Prisca, you can start.
Okay, so I thought I was chatting to her.
Oh yeah, because I was looking at her and...
Okay,
yeah. Yes.
So basically we have a lot of roles that we play, or responsibilities. But at the end of the day, I feel it's just, first of all, you need to have time for each other.
Time for each other.
Yes, because in as much as we talk about responsibilities, if you don't make time for each other, I think those responsibilities might or won't be carried out effectively.
Wow,
and that leads me back to, before we can even break this down, I'm sure we all know about the 5 love languages.
Wow, which is that? Come on. So it's getting.
So just for the sake of people like me, So the 5 love languages, there's words of affirmation.
Okay.
So mostly this is when you affirm with your partner, you agree, okay, you're really beautiful, you're really amazing, you're affirming with whatever they're saying, or maybe they feel about themselves. And in their low state, you tell them that, you just tell them good stuff about them. And then there's gifts. Okay, so showering them with gifts, pampering them and everything, buying them gifts and whatnot. And vice versa, because it's a two-way kind of thing.
Yeah,
sometimes my love language might not be yours, but we can click together.
Okay.
So there's also quality time. That's my favorite. It's my topmost love language.
Wow.
You need to spend time with it, even if it's 10 minutes out of your time. At least not just maybe spending with me. If you can't, it's okay, but at least communicate. Communication is very important.
Okay.
So, yeah, I talked about words of affirmation, quality time,
Quality time.
and gifts.
Gifts,
So, yeah, quality time is very important. You spend time with your loved ones, and also there's what's that?
So in other words, so
Yes.
you ladies do put that in following in a relationship with a man.
Yes, exactly. And act of service. Act of service is where you go an extra mile to do something for that person.
Oh, okay.
Like if it's washing for
So
them.
do you really guys go the extra mile in a relationship?
Exactly. You buy for your lover. Talk time.
Are you sure?
Go to the market if you have to. You pick them up, you take lunch for them, and do other stuff like that. You wash for them. if you have to.
Because I feel to say 2/4 of the extra mile stuff is meant for the guys and guys do play. So you meaning how do you play an extra mile in a relationship? Probably you can touch more about that. What do you really do for a man that shows to see you going an extra mile?
Okay.
Relationship
Yeah.
is for two people.
Okay.
So you don't expect me to run the relationship alone.
Okay.
And it's also about communication.
Okay.
So she talked about commitment. She talked about being there for your partner. Like she mentioned something
About
like,
quality time.
yes,
Yeah.
quality time.
Yes.
At times I may not be with him, but if I text him, just a text,
That's quality time.
it's quality time.
That makes a big deal.
I'm saying, hey, I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So men also want to feel loved. In as much as I would want to feel loved, he also wants to feel loved. So if he feels left out, then
Utuntu.
And the other love language that I forgot was physical touch.
Physical touch.
So touch, you don't expect me to touch my lover the way I'll touch everybody else. So I'll be like, okay, he's a player, he's a, the kind of thing. So this is where we draw the line.
Okay.
Okay. So the way I would relate to you, with you, Gabriel, that's not the way I would relate.
body
to you.
language.
Exactly.
Wow, wow. So that's so beautiful. So do you have anything to add to that about
I want to touch on the part where you said so girls also have to go an extra mile. Yes, but the problem is the men make it seem as if we don't have to do anything.
okay.
Because they are not used to receiving
Being pumped.
Yes, to being pampered. they feel
Wow.
they are the only people who need to pamper others. And
yeah.
for a lot of men, they they have that thing as in, okay, why is she doing this? Maybe she wants to ask me for money or something. You are insecure about
Like,
the
did
girl
she do
pampering
something
you.
wrong? Like, she's
Exactly. Or
feeling
maybe
guilty.
she did something wrong, so
Yeah.
this is guilt.
Yeah.
But then we also have that role to play. As she said, a relationship is between two people.
people.
So it shouldn't
It's
be
a
a one-sided.
partnership at the end
Yes.
of the day. Yeah.
It shouldn't be a one-sided thing.
Wow. So this is okay. I think it's getting more interesting because I want to understand how do you really like create time for your partner. For example, this man he wakes up every like early in the morning, goes for work, and the time you can meet it's just probably in the afternoon or probably in the evening when he knocks off. So how do you create time for your partner? And probably Saturday and Sunday he's having some boys to men stuff, you get church stuff. How do you create time? I feel you guys, you said at the end of the day, so this person has never been, he's never been there for me. So how do you handle such kind of situations?
So I think going back to that, we go back to the drawing board of the 5 love languages. Exactly. So if I know my lover's love language, because mine is act of service, so I'll go an extra mile in doing the things. Otuntu. Exactly. Otuntu. So it's that thing whereby I don't have to make it like it's obvious and everything. I always tell girls, I'm like, mentor of the young girls and whatnot, that when you get in a relationship, before you go any further, ask your partner what attracted you to me. And when you find that, use that as a key so that he doesn't go out and
Wow, that's true.
labor. I'm going to
Attention,
Exactly. So if
attention.
it's the way you carry yourself, your confidence, don't stop that. The way you speak out for others, don't stop that. Increase on that. And work actually to become better. Not for him, for yourself actually.
That's beautiful.
So mostly, I feel we get it wrong there.
Okay, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
So looking at what you're talking about, we talked about responsibilities,
Yeah.
and these are your responsibilities that you look for in a relationship, right? So what do you really bring in a relationship?
Okay. A lot of
I
energy.
feel, I feel as women, the way we were created, the beings that we are, we were created to bring forth life. And you know, the Bembas say, inganda mwana kashi.
Okay.
So even in a relationship, there are certain things that men won't reach there, even if they try. You can go anywhere in the world, a man will never reach as high as a woman can go in a relationship.
But I would want to
because
so probably you can just give an example of high.
okay, I'll give an example of the way women run a home. Like, women have a lot of responsibilities. Even a 21st century woman, you know, with work, with everything, but then she still has
social
time.
media.
Yes.
Wow, and social media.
Yes, in social media.
House chores to wait for her.
Yes, she still has time. She still makes time for her husband. She has got kids. She's got work. She's got chores. There's tradition coming in. You need to do certain things as a woman. Abapongoshi bayisayo every day, every Sunday.
Yeah.
So as women, there's just that. There's that energy that we have. Yes, we might be masculine and all that, but then the energy that we bring, it won't be in, physical, but then there's just this energy that we bring. Even in a relationship, we kind of hold things together.
Okay.
You know, there's this saying, they say, a man will go and cheat and come back, but then a woman will be there enjoying all that. I'm not going to but no, what were you doing that? Everything will break. But then with women, if for example, if my husband does something, I'll just, because of tradition, because of customs, I'll be there just, keeping it to myself. And that is actually holding the relationship together. Otherwise, I have the right to walk out on that relationship.
So, but how do you overcome that endurance at the end of the day? Because look at this. If you're keeping a lot of things in your heart, guys, probably you can bear with me. You get it, right? If you're keeping, feel like exactly at the end of the day that thing is going to let me say, okupolika, then to be something else. So how do you really come out from that stress where, let me say, for example, this guy cheats and he comes back to say sorry? How do you guys really forgive and forget?
Okay, let me pick that up.
Okay.
Like she started, uchendo wa mama itautobengana, but wa makashula tobengana.
Okay.
I'm a woman, and if you take it biblically, you know how God describes a woman. That's what makes me to be a
Proverbs
woman.
31.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my God.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's my duty to bring my house in order.
Yeah. Okay.
If my man cheats, I shouldn't take it out on him.
Wow.
And I shouldn't approach him when I'm upset. I have to talk to my God. It's only God that can calm me down. If God calms me down, then I'll call my man to say, honey, can we talk? I have to ask him, where am I going wrong? What is it that I'm doing that you don't like?
Exactly.
Where do you want me to improve?
Wow.
What made you do this?
Wow. Okay.
Exactly.
So
You learn something, then also a man will come up to say, no, actually, if he drinks alcohol, he takes alcohol, you say, no, I was influenced. But it's my duty to bring my house in order. I should have time to talk to my husband.
wow.
I should have time to pray for my husband.
Exactly.
I should also have time for him alone.
Wow.
Men love attention. Men are like babies. So if I'm not giving
That's
him
good
attention,
to know. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So if I'm not giving my
true,
man attention, someone else will do that.
do that. Yeah, that definitely.
Yeah.
So if I recall very well, she talked about communication and body language. It's my responsibility as a woman to make sure that my man does not lack anything.
So I remember saying that one thing that I always told myself, and I always told young people and whatnot, is I would always say from childhood that I would never get married to a husband, but a friend. When you marry a friend, you've done.
Wow.
Like, dude, here's the situation. Gabriel, for example, you're my husband. Don't kill me. You're my husband. I mean, she might be watching. Let's just, baby, I love you too much. Yeah, you come home. You come home.
Yes.
Instead of me going to hide, bafika balume, fesi mbabikile nani kane, shani,
Like you're a
shani.
slave.
Exactly. You come home, I'm like, oh, baby, we're like, oh, okay, have you, I just got home from, work and whatnot. Oh, it's cool. We'll just do to my takeaway and whatnot. We sit, we watch, we play games together.
Wow.
When-
Like video game, yeah?
We play games together.
Any games.
Like you know,
Now
men
what you
went
do
to
know?
FIFA.
And
Any
exactly.
game, any
Now what you
game.
do know?
Any
So
game.
at the end of the day, it's friendship that will sustain a marriage or any relationship. Take time to know each other. Don't jump because you know each other. Catastrophe. You will be so disappointed.
Wow.
I tell you.
So if I can ask a question to say, okay, then after everything that we've discovered about men, like you ladies having that responsibility in a relationship, so now how do you really define commitment in a relationship? How do you?
I
Define
feel commitment is, the art of binding, either intellectually or emotionally, to a course of action. Because at the end of the day, we say love is action, right?
Yeah.
You're in this relationship
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of love.
Yes.
And you binding to that action, to that course of action, emotion, both with your mind and with your heart. So commitment is about you being serious-minded about what you're getting yourself into.
Wow.
It's an obligation.
It's an obligation.
And it's not like someone forced you. You are taking yourself into that commitment. It's like signing a contract. They won't force you.
When you
what
feel
this spend.
satisfied, how in the
Then,
then you commit.
Guys, tuarifika.
So I don't understand. So you ladies, okay. So
Yeah.
meaning you can only commit if you. What makes you feel to say you've reached and you can now begin to commit?
If I communicate very well with my boyfriend, then I will know I've reached. When I talk about communication, I mean he has to understand me. I have to understand him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
When I talk about communication, I talk about him knowing my dislikes and my likes. The same with me.
Wow. So what?
Respecting his wish, him doing the same for me.
Wow.
Having the same goals.
Wow.
Then I will notice, okay, this is the man
Wow.
that I want to be with.
Hallelujah.
Then you
sister.
can commit. To that.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
So meaning
What I don't want is to commit, then at the end of the day, start regretting, saying, I didn't know
I
like
just
this.
wasted my time.
I wasted my time.
and that's the reason
This
why
man
friendship
is-
is very important.
That is why before anything, if I'm in a relationship with a man, it shouldn't just be my boyfriend, my fancy, he has to be my friend.
That's beautiful.
Because if he's my friend, then I'm going to be open as much as possible. I'll not hide anything.
That's true.
Same with him.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
And I feel what kills most relationships is not, hey, you didn't call me, you didn't do that, or maybe people are talking behind us and whatnot, or social media. What kills most relationships is when one partner starts to feel neglected.
Yes.
You're no longer there for them. You know?
Okay, wow. So before we can continue, there you have it, viewers. I'm hosting the ladies in the house today. And for more information, remember to like our page, also subscribe, as well as leave your comment box. So remember, I'm hosting the ladies talk show tonight. And please stay tuned. And welcome back, viewers. Remember, you're watching Reform Talk Show with your host, Ruben Njike, and I'm hosting the ladies tonight. So I don't want to take much of their time or your time right now. So we'll go straight right out in the talk. So ladies, we talked about the responsibilities. We came and talked about commitment. And these are the things that two people love. Commitment. Responsibilities. Then why does it end, or why does it lead to breakup, or what leads to breakup?
What leads to breakup most of the time is miscommunication.
Miscommunication. Okay. So what do you really mean to say miscommunication?
Okay, so I'll give you a practical example.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out with my friends for
Okay.
a party, or maybe I'm having a girls' thing.
The guy is
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I tell my man I've gone out. I'll be home by 19.
Mm-hmm.
I failed to get home at the time that I told him, or rather mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm home late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that will bring misunderstanding
Okay.
if I don't communicate. So meaning that if I'm out and I'm unable to get home on the time that I mentioned, I'm supposed to tell him to say, this is what is happening. I'm unable to be home at the time that I told you because of this and that.
Wow.
Also, if I love my man, I'm supposed to communicate. He's supposed to know my movements.
That's true.
Same as if I tell him I've gone to the market, or I'm going to town, but we meet maybe at in a shopping mall. So it's like telling him that I'm going this way, yet I'm going
When
the
it's
opposite.
It's the opposite
Yeah.
way.
So when a man finds out that that's what is happening or that's what you're doing,
It will bring questionment.
yeah, wale kafe kutasta bambo kanda no nishi wachibepelo ufi ulebepa, you know, and all sort of things.
Wow. So what do you think?
And the other thing that mother memo alishupa, if you today they lie. But when mama fanga wanda that you know what chinje bati
Guys.
ule down
Guys.
nishi wasangi ya kumanda hiyo.
Okay, guys.
Kuna chance ya kute spend time
Look
tupela.
at this one jeba tulea down. Na kusanga kuchest.
Ngaye wa lipstick yao wisana ya kunganda.
No, this time.
No, hapa ni 50-50 kumana. In fact, not no kumana, we beat.
Really? So, in other words, what would really, after you trying to, you know, when you talk about responsibilities and commitment, it means you're investing something in that
Yes,
relationship.
yes.
So now, after looking at the investment that you created in that relationship too, but why do you guys fail to maintain? You do forgive, but how do you manage to let go and just say, okay, I think we are done?
I'm human. Nenga that na ko relation na be povo.
Okay.
But I need to seek God's intervention.
Exactly.
Okay. So meaning God
I
gives
on
you-
my own I cannot, but I have to talk to God. It's only God that can help me go through, accept and forget.
Healing is a
And
process.
also, yes, healing it's a long process. But umuntu wasuminalesa, we know the 10 Commandments of the Bible.
Wow.
Like I said earlier in our topic, to say you men are like babies.
Okay.
But also
More-
like babies.
You're
You
like
need
babies,
to be
as
pampered,
in,
yeah?
you will ask for forgiveness, but you still go back. Like for I
not,
believe
we're
you
not.
me. I talk about the same thing over and over. I feel you're not changing. I feel you
What's
don't
the
deserve
point?
me.
What's
So
the
what's the
point?
point?
What's the point
What's the
of
point
being
of holding
trying?
on to the
Yes.
person that doesn't want to grow?
Wow.
I let go.
Wow. So Michelle, what would lead, for example, you letting go of a man that you have like shared, the man that you have created, the man that you have made the realization or the true meaning of love, then at the end of the day you let go of that person. We met like way back, even posted when you said that he's my man, he's my soul, he's my wife. Then at the end of the day, just suddenly you just say, okay, I'm
It
done.
becomes the soul.
It becomes the soul. Like, thank you. What leads to that? Why do you guys break up at the end of the day?
I feel for most women, it's because the man is failing to fully commit, or he's failing to understand the true meaning of commitment.
So meaning every time
And not
that
honoring his way.
wow. So meaning in every relationship, the cause of that relationship's failure, in other words, is a man.
Not every relationship. There are just some girls who go into
In short, what she's
relationships.
trying to say is what would cause her to break up
Yes.
with a man.
Okay. Okay.
Most women, most ladies,
Uh-huh.
it's because there's no commitment
Okay.
from the man's
The
side.
man's side.
And lack of understanding of what true commitment is. And most people don't commit. They commit to the relationship, but not to the person they're in a relationship with. Most men, from what I've seen, most men go into a relationship not because they want it to benefit the both of them.
Wow.
But then because they want to benefit from that relationship.
Wow, beautiful.
Because, you know, if you are in a relationship with someone, you've built each other, you've grown, you know, over 10 years. 10 years is a long time. I would have gotten married instead of you wasting my time.
That's true, yeah.
Then at the end of the day, you just think of breaking up. It doesn't happen like that. There must be something that is not right. Because, you know, if we say we are committed to each other, then these other things that will come in, I don't think they're even relevant to lead to breakup.
Wow.
And like what she earlier said, she said that everything has to do with God.
Of course.
Like the relationship should be based on the word. It should be deeply rooted in the word.
Wow.
Because in the first place, God is the one who made this relationship.
Wow.
He's the one who established this relationship.
Wow.
So if it's not rooted in God, then I don't think there will be much understanding or much commitment in that relationship, because you don't really understand the purpose of that relationship in the first place.
Wow, beautiful stuff. So what can you add to that comment?
First of all, I love the fact that she talked about understanding. So understanding is a vital key.
Okay.
In as much as she said earlier on that, I would say I've gone to Soweto or town, and then you find me Pamanda Hill.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many things that would happen along the way. Allow me to explain myself. So it has to be, in as much as it's a partnership, there's supposed to be a dialogue,
Yes.
not a monologue. You just talk. "Iwe, I'm like, dude, give me time to explain myself.
Okay.
You know? So, and another thing that I earlier mentioned, or I mostly talk about, is that when one person starts to feel neglected in the relationship, and then you can't really open up and confide in your partner to say, this is what's on my plate, and I don't feel you have enough time for me, you don't honor my love language, you no longer do this, you no longer do that. No wonder it comes back to sitting down, going back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
You should have goals as a couple.
Yeah, true.
I feel it's very important as a couple. This month we're going to do this. Let's experiment on this. Let's try this. Let's see how yada yada works at the end of the day.
True.
Like for me, and my boyfriend, okay, I wouldn't want to share. Okay, let me just share this. For the sake of growth
Yeah,
in
please,
some of the
yeah.
relationships, is I did suggest to him to say, you know, let's have we have like what we have a journal.
Okay.
So every month, at the end of the month, before we like maybe go to a restaurant or lodge or whatever. Not what you think.
No, come on. I'm
I
not
just
thinking
wanted
of anything.
to
Come
break
on.
the ice. You were too serious.
Okay,
You were
come
too
on.
serious.
All right, all right.
So, at we write down every day. So, if you're missing that person, you write down the goods and the bads.
Wow.
You know what you want to improve as a couple. You take note of it. At the end of the month, you choose. Like for us, our anniversary is 22nd. I don't know. That's my birthday.
Wow. Wow.
My
Beautiful
birthday.
stuff.
I
So you
didn't
made it on the birthday.
No, not to my birthday. It was on a certain month on the 22nd.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
But
all right.
every time would go out and say, okay, honey, this is this. This is this. I don't like this. I don't want this. I don't want this to be repeated. Oh, I want you to repeat this and be better at this. I want us to improve in this area and that area. We go back to our drawing boards. We read that to each other. At the end of the month, we go back again. You're home, you do that. Maybe you've not even seen each other, but you write it down. I miss you. That, and that. So at the end of the day, it's about understanding each other and making sure you're there for that person, even if it's not physically.
That's true.
You know? Yeah. So that's,
So that's
that.
beautiful. So now we're coming to the end of the program. So I would love to see if you could just give your remark. So what is your remark about somebody who is out there probably might be having a child in their relationship? What would be the word of encouragement?
For me, the first thing would be, you know, there's this saying, a couple that prays together is a couple that stays together.
Wow.
So if your relationship is not, your number one thing in that relationship should be God.
Yeah.
Because that will direct every step that you take as a couple.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So if you want that, you want to channel that relationship in the right direction, your first thing, your first priority as a couple should be God. Even as individuals, but as a couple should be God. Because if you have misunderstandings about that, then you have misunderstandings about a lot of things.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to simply agree.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it all comes back I'll still emphasize on this. Drawing board.
Drawing board.
Drawing board. If you're in a relationship, define that relationship. What does it look like if you were to stand outside? Would you if I'm in a relationship, for example, with Gabriel.
Come on.
I'm in a relationship with
Yeah, it's
Gabriel.
okay, you can use
and
Gabriel
then I'm
as well.
another person on the
Yeah.
outside, viewed from the outside, from another perspective point of view. Would I kumbwa? Would I want to be in that relationship?
Wow.
So have that kind of thing to say, I want to leave a legacy.
Wow.
At the end of the day, people should say, oh, I want my woman to be treated like that. I want my mom to treat me like that, or maybe to be treated like that. Because you're going to be a role model at the end of the day. People are watching,
Yes,
whether you
that's
like it or not, whether you do it in secret or not. People are still watching. So it all comes back to the drawing board and the goals that you have set as a couple. So go back there, identify yourselves together. What are we going to call ourselves? And what are we doing? What do we want to achieve at the end of the day? So that's that.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Amen. All right, there you have it, viewers. Thank you so much for watching the Reform Talk Show with me, your host, Ruben GK. I was hosting the ladies tonight. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Please stay blessed. And together we say what?
Jason Derulo. Bust it open for a gift. I put diamonds on your wrist.